Here we are again today. What I've done so far is attempted to decrud this old girl. She had a lot on her, as you saw in the first video. That's been reasonably successful. Just before I start twirling too many spanners on this whole thing, or before even you do, if you're working on any machinery, it's great to get some of that stuff off. It makes life a lot better and a lot more pleasant. It's still coming up reasonably well. Haven't found any great failures in it yet after taking all that off. Terrible old seat's gone. I'll have to build something new for there. I think you can still even purchase them. But I'll go down that line at a later date. I just want to get this old girl rolling at some stage in the very close future and just see how it performs before I get too carried away with it. But obviously I have to have somewhere to park my bum and so I'll have to make up some kind of a seat for it. Still haven't found any major cracks or anything like that in it anywhere. A little bit of wear in that one there. Other than that, even that's not too bad. All else seems pretty reasonably tight. What I've been doing, other than degreasing it, which I did with a little pressure washer, which you saw, is I've been draining the oil. This is the oil that come out of the gearbox and transmission. You just take a look at that. Believe me, that is something different. I tell you, it looks more like some sort of paint. But having said that, getting some new transmission oil into it should help the clutch a bit. It was a little bit jumpy, probably the worst aspect of the old girl. And having stuff like that running through the torque converter, I'm sure, would make it a little bit jumpy. It's a shuttle foot pedal affair there with an accelerator and a back and a forward on it. Yeah, it's reasonable. That can be modified at a later date if I want to make something easier up. It's not too difficult to re-engineer something there. I think that is the lock diff mechanism. That seems to be frozen. I've been putting some oil into it and it is moving a tiniest bit at the moment, so I feel I might have some luck there. Hopefully I do, because this old girl will probably need a lock diff just to save a little bit of time and stuff like that, because there's plenty of weight on the back. Not that you're going to get bogged that easy with it. You can always push yourself out, I suppose, when it comes to that. But that's what I'm doing now. It's been decrudded far enough to do a tiny amount of work on. I'm going to I've been draining the gearbox. It's a sort of, must have a well in it, I suppose, and up here there is a plate which is right directly under the torque converter. I've drained that. That probably had another 5 litres of oil come out of it by itself. I do believe they're all joined together though, and just have a reservoir in between the two, that and the differential. I think it's all the same oil. I checked on the net and they say it is. 3 grub screws in it, one wouldn't come out, but that's okay, I'm taking it off anyhow. I've got the majority of the oil out of it, I'd say. It's still leaking a little bit out, but not that much. Up on the left hand side of the diff pan there, I think you can see it. I'll just stick the camera up there, maybe you can. just there, that's where the main drain was for the differential area, and I think all in all there's probably about 22 litres of oil have come out of it so far. So that's okay. I've drained a few of these old girls before, and you're probably best off flushing them and so forth. But I found if you've got a bit of time on your hand and you can pull all that stuff off, the plugs out, and they're pretty level, just leave them for a few weeks and all the oil will slowly run out, which it needs to do if you're going to put new stuff in. So there's a filter down there, and also around the left side here there is another filter. I believe that this one is here also goes to the torque converter. It's got a little bolt on the bottom of it, and in there I'm sure you wouldn't be able to buy another one again, but I'll have a look at what's going on in there with that, because that cruddy oil is going to be all the way through this line, so if it comes off at least I can clean it out and flush the filter or do something with it. I'll show you the outcome of that anyhow. Next to that would be the main engine filter, being this one, which I won't worry about. The oil in it looks reasonable. The motor ticks away very well. That's one thing that perhaps was looked after to a certain extent. And up in here there are two more filters. I suppose they're both fuel filters. I'm not too sure yet. I haven't got a manual on this whole thing. I'm not too sure what manual to buy for it. But anyhow, that's and the fifth filter on this side is this one, which obviously would be it's quite a big canister. Would be the hydraulic fluid filter. That's not a drama. I won't go there yet with it either. It's quite low on hydraulic fluid at the moment. One thing I've noticed in my little escapade in looking into this old girl is the fan belt. Well, no one's going to get the Genius Award for engineering that and putting it where it was. I think to change that, it looks in fair condition, it's not great, but to change that I think you'll want to take a few days out of the calendar for sure. It looks like you've got to take the whole front axle off, and I should imagine unhook the pump, so that is a big task.